Yo guys, Fypage here back with more Marvel Rivals content, bringing you the full Elsa Bloodstone guide following the latest update, breaking down all of her abilities, including her team up and addressing both her strengths and weaknesses. This is episode 47 of my Hero Series guides, with all of the previous episodes already on the channel and in the playlist below. So on that note, stay tuned and let's get right into it. So first things first, Elsa Bloodstone is a 3-star brand new duelist which was introduced in Season 6.5, which launched on February 13th. With 275 base health, she is an aggressive mobile flanker who's designed for diving, high priority targets like tanks and supports, excelling at burst damage through weapon swaps, traps and monster summons. Her kit revolves around building Hunter Instinct, which stacks via damage and extra from trap kills to reduce her cooldowns and enabling that hit and run pressure, which is a really fun and interesting playstyle to add into the duelist player pool. As for her abilities and her primary, she has the double barrel blaster, which fires a shotgun blast forward with 8 shells before having to reload, which deals solid close range poke damage. Then we have the weapon swap, which is known as Monster Piercer, which is triggered after dashing or using abilities, which fires a piercing elephant gun bullet, dealing high damage and bonus damage versus shields and bonus health enemies, which does last and stick around for 6 seconds after this, so she can choose to use it at the right time, and also is one of her core burst tools to deal that combo damage in pressure situations. We then have the Helix Advance ability, which is effectively using L1 on PlayStation or Shift, where it empowers your next primary when you dash forward into then having the Monster Piercer ability available, which we just discussed. The cooldown is reduced by the instinct stacks, which is where largely the skill gap will lie with this character in making her more of a difficult character, but will allow you to constantly apply pressure and be more ruthless. As well as that, we also have the Ruthless Pursuit by pressing R1, having an 8-second cooldown where she can effectively have a 2-stage ability where she dashes forward, gaining bonus health and launches enemies, which also then has a follow-up stage to fire a double barrel shotgun to propel backwards and slow down those enemies, which then in turn empowers the next primary attack into Monster Piercer again. So as you can see, these are the combos you need to consider and understand. We then have the Smoky Snare by pressing circle, has a 12-second cooldown which deploys an invisible and invulnerable trap known as Diablo, which triggers to immobilize and deals damage to enemies. Dashing to them for easy kills, foes can destroy this, however it's great for picks and extra instincts and allows you to stack up your combos and really just control an area, and of course prioritize those special targets, whether it's a tank or whether it's a support. Prioritizing them, making sure you get those picks is really going to leave your team with a numbers advantage. We also have the Living Bullet, where you press L2, has an 8-second cooldown where she can fire a splitting round that hones in on enemies, marking them with the Spectral Sigil, and hitting marked enemies grants brief speed boosts, damage bonuses versus shields or bonus health, and is an excellent setup for the combo attacks where she can basically pick enemies off in a real quick 1-2-3 combo sort of move. With the passive ability known as the Inherited Instinct, which damage builds on stacks, and stacking up this is really where you want to understand this character and increase that skill gap, where snare kills will grant bonus stacks, higher stacks equals lower Helix Advance, and this cooldown will really sort of insignificantly impact on how you're going to sort of move around the map and be able to flank enemies constantly with resetting on death. So stay alive and make sure you keep that sort of yellow bar at the bottom of the screen constantly as high as possible to try and reduce those cooldowns as frequently as possible. With the ultimate ability known as the Apex Predator, one of the coolest ultimates that I've ever seen. It's like Squirrel Girls but far cooler, where Elsa Bloodstone can summon Glatrox, which is effectively this big monster that you'll see where it charges forward, captures or locks enemies. You can actually recall this ability as well, which makes it far more controllable and also goes in the same reverse path as it goes out, biting on terrain or collision or returning for massive AoE damage. It's great for zoning, dive groups or finishing off low HP targets. So on a controlled area, on the objective in-game modes, this is going to be a really cool ability, just like Squirrel Girls, like I said, but with more control and more reasoning and purpose behind it, whereas the other, I think we can all agree that Squirrel Girls is more brain dead, and I cannot stand that thing. It's one of the worst abilities in the entire game, and I really would like to see that reworked, but this one seems pretty cool and can be used at the right time, really systematically. Although it is quite weak and vulnerable to the point where it can be destroyed, I would say that this one, due to the size of it, it is definitely going to be far more balanced. As for the team ability that she shares with Deadpool, this is known as Bloodstone's Boombox Bullets, where living bullets will taunt, slow, and deal damage over time to nearby enemies, and recalling them to self-heal based on the damage you have inflicted. So a really cool ability in itself to share amongst the likes of Deadpool, who is going to be a frequently and very commonly used hero in all of Rivals going forward, following this sort of release in Season 6. As for the strengths of this character, I'd say she has insane burst and anti-tank sort of potential, with Monster Piercer shredding, shields and bonus health, and the likes of Venom and Hulk not really standing a chance against this style of character. With dive picks for traps and mobility, she has high mobility with the dash dashes and the speed boost for flanking and escaping, stacking upon different sort of spam attacks that you can consider, control and zoning, using the traps and the ultimate abilities to sort of tear down teams and control areas, and strong in chaos moments, as well as scaling with play with the instinct, snowballs, aggression. And I feel like this character is going to be one of those high ceiling ones, especially at the higher level in comp. As for weaknesses, I'd say she is definitely a squishy target and very stack dependent. With 275 HP, she can die really easily when focused or due to crowd control. The death resets the instinct and effectively punishes you for overextending. So really playing your life whilst also trying to constantly apply pressure and flank and stuff like that is going to be the consideration for this character. She's very combo resilient, where she needs to dash and mark enemies for peak damage, and any misses will result in you being like far less effective effectively. So being accurate and precise is going to really reward skilled players. And also she's quite predictable if she is scouted upon, with the likes of the traps being destructible, their mobility being countered by stuns or anything like crowd control related, such as Captain America, whatever. This is going to be where she's going to be far less effective. So consider all of these things. But as for the playstyle and tips, I'd say flank aggressively where you can, poke using the living bullet and shotgun to stack those instincts, snares for chokes, dash in for monster piercer burst damage, and combo all of these core factors with the smoky snare, the ruthless pursuit as the launch, the double barrel shotgun for slowing, propelling enemies, and the living bullet and helix advance monster piercer finisher to try and execute those enemies in sort of close quarter situations and at range. Using the ultimate to charge into groups, recall to walls for bites or pair with dashes to follow up, prioritize those tanks and those healers, use headshots and try to land as many as you can for maximum damage, use the speed for repositioning and just sort of constantly working on staying alive and keeping that stack as high as possible, building on your stack safely and early in your games. Be the best teammate you can. Work alongside the likes of Deadpool and Jeff for the team-up abilities. Moon Knight will also help you with the bouncing synergy. Penny Parker or Mantis for crowd control and boosts. Vanguards like Strange and Groot I would recommend as well for diving potential. All of these things to consider. As for counters, maybe Mobile Duelist or Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Blade. These are all going to be problems for yourself. Maybe even the likes of Captain America and poke strategists like Gambit. These are all going to be counters that I would try and avoid. But with that said, if you have enjoyed the video as always and found this useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any comments or thoughts about playing as Elsa Bloodstone or any cool clips that you want to share so far, please let me know guys down below in the comments and I'll get right back to you. I'm Vision and I'll see you in the next one.